This time on Arch's Garage.
Hey everyone, welcome to Arch's Garage. This time in the garage we have a RedMax blower. It belongs to one of my customers' workers. They're roofers. This thing looks like it fell off a roof many times, right? It's kind of old, it's kind of beat. It's missing fuel lines and stuff. He said it was really hard to start. When I looked down at it, yeah, I don't even know how you would be able to start it because the fuel lines were broken. I pressure washed it quickly. It was really, really dirty, really, really bad. And the fuel lines just disintegrated. So we got to get the junk out of the tank as well. We want to pull the carb apart, but let's just get started on it. It almost looks like it's regular gas. I think there's like barely a hint of two-stroke in there, and it's hard to pull. Okay, so they could have seized it. Let's pull the plug out. I can't do a compression test because I don't have that size plug fitting. Looks a little lean. It's kind of chocolatey, but it was running good. And then, yeah, it looks kind of gross and chunky in there and dry. That sounds good. Put a little more in there. The gas was old. This hasn't been run a long time. You know, they always tell you, he tells me, I need it right away. This has not been run in a long time. They have other machines. They always try to get you to, you know, it's an emergency. You gotta have it right away. Well, you know, okay, you can have it right away. I'll push aside every other customer I have. That'll be $100 to look at it and hundreds of dollars to fix it because you got to pay for that. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, thanks. So, yeah, but I need good price. Now, you can't have really good prices, instant delivery. All right, we got to find a place to clip this on. Let's just do a pull test. I'll yell out if it has a spark. Can I see it? Let's see, kind of have it in the dark. I can't see anything. It's got some spark. Let's pour a little bit of regular two-stroke in there. That should do it. And it is dry, so we'll just thread this in, put a little bit of two-stroke on that. And we're not going to tighten it, I just want to get it in finger tight all the way down so I don't damage anything. Okay, now try to hold on to it. It should kick. Bottom. The filter fell off. All right, let's take it apart. Right, that's good. Okay, now I don't know if I don't think I have any of these gaskets and diaphragms. I gotta go open a door. I doubt it. I don't do RedMax. I have never done this model for sure. So I'm not the expert on RedMax at all, but let's start from the top. So I took the air cleaner off, and it's filthy as hell. All right, I'm gonna go blow this out and stuff. I don't have another one, but let's see what happens if I blow it out, and we're gonna wash this. If he wants one, I can order it. But if it cleans up pretty good, it should be all right. Now, I just loosened up this clamp and this clamp just so I can kind of move it around a little. And then this goes here. And it seems to fit. These were down here. I'm not sure if that's a thing or not, but it was somewhere there. Well, we'll have to check that. I'm not exactly sure where they go. This one looks like it's bent. This one's bent. So it's like a rigid gasket. It's got a piece of metal in it, and then it's got some gasket material. So that's actually pretty good. All right, and it's filthy. Okay, so the intake is full of grease and dirt. Now, this is your choke. Oh, hear that? I can hear the dirt. So we got to get in there. These two here. Those two screws, and then that should essentially loosen all that up. We still have a throttle cable. What size is that? It's the same size for these guys. Well, hopefully, I mean, it ran like it wants to run. It was actually sucking that little bit of fuel from the bottom. Okay, not too bad in there. All right, there's some steel inserts in here. The bushings. Yeah. Oh, no. It does come off, but the whole carburetor came off. Duh. Let's get this cover off. And there's a ground wire here, too. Okay. You learn something new every day. That's the thing. That's the fun part about stuff is you try to learn. So basically you can twist this out. It's a little damaged, but it's not terrible. Probably you want to twist it in to get more slack. Right? And then pull this forward, pull the throttle forward, pull that out, and then twist it out. It doesn't seem too bad. Let's bring it over to the other table. So over here we got the black one. Now, probably could pass through some new fuel lines. So this is the black one here, the straight one with the multiple barbs. So the one in the rear, or towards this side, towards the block, and the front one is missing. I think that was the clear one, so we don't know what's what yet. There is some fuel in there. Let's get this cleaned up. Let's use some of the gas we got from this thing and just clean it up. I'm going to clean up the outside, and while I have this stuff out, I'm going to clean some of the other stuff, right, just to make it, you know, a little bit cleaner. And then we'll open it. We'll come back and we'll crack it open. So I'm going to clean a bunch of things. I'll be back in a few.
A few moments later.
Okay, let's start off. We're going to leave these in for now, but let's just take a peek in here. Now we got to be careful with this gasket. So why don't we trim that a little bit so that we don't make it worse. All right. We want this much of it for now. I don't want to make it worse, so be Ginger. Hi, Ginger. All right, so notice the arrangement. So here's a screw, here's all this stuff. It probably will only go in one direction anyway, but just so we can have some kind of reference. Might just need like a good tune-up. I know these are good machines, so I washed out the entire intake system. It was just rancid and filthy, so full of grease and, you know, the oils and the dirt, fine dirt. All right, so the bulb looks okay. Yeah, there's very little, if anything, in there. And that looks okay. It might be all right. Let's just peel it up. It's clean. We'll blow it out with WD so we don't cause any more issues, and we're not going to try to take it all apart because I don't think it's worth it. There's one spot though that has a tendency to cause problems, which is in here. So because the fuel comes up and hits a screen, generally that screen is in there. So the fuel, let's see if we can just get at it without causing it to tear or something. Yeah, it's on there tight. But I don't see any evidence of dirt. All right. I don't see any evidence of dirt. I think if we just rinse it through with some WD-40, which one is which though? I think this is the pickup, but I could be wrong. That's why usually I take them apart, because this is primer, right? Because I can see the hole, and when we blow WD-40 through it, we'll know. So we'll blow WD in here and then with light compressed air. So let's do that. Let me go get some WD, and then we'll use some very light compressed air, 20, 30 pounds just to treat it. All right, so I think this is for here, and that's your primer. You'll see. See? See? Yeah, and that goes into the intake. And we'll just turn this. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. The air cleaning system on this is very good. And so I think it's worth it, Let's try, put a little WD-40 on this guy too, because it's good for it. These should be soft like lanolin, not linen. Yeah, now we may have another one, but I don't think there's anything wrong with this one. There's no adjustment other than your throttle cable adjustment, so you're not tweaking it. No mixture screws or anything. All right, and we're going to just blow that out. Let me crank my air compressor's pressure down on this one hose, and then we'll blow it. All right, I'm going to blow it off camera. 30 pounds. Now, and then just lightly. Yeah, there's no dirt in that. There's no dirt in any of this. Definitely not. There's no dirt in here. And this tends to get flushed anyway. All right, I'm going to put it back together, and I want to get in and look at the gas tank. Yeah, so I got the tank off, pulled the plug out. There's some junk in the tank. It's mostly filthy everywhere else. There's two filters. Oh, see? Do all the junk, right? There's a filter there. There's water in this tank. Let me wipe the floor too. And I'm going to take some of the gas and the old stuff that I have and brush this on, spray it on, and we'll plug the holes here. And I'm going to give it one more quick cleaning with the hose. And I know it's freezing out, but it's worth it. So let me do that, and we'll be back.
20 minutes later.
That was a lot better. Tank is outside drying. I rinsed it, washed it, put a little gas in it, shook it around, emptied that out, blew it, and just stuck it out in the wind and the sun, whatever sun there is. It's cold out today. All right, let's pull the plugs out. I want to make sure this is tight. Get the plug out. We got to turn this thing over a bunch of times and blow in here and blow in there and get any water out. It could have gotten into the muffler. So let's do that. Yeah, so I found water on the plug. Look down there. All right. We got to get that out. I'll put my 2-stroke in and stuff, and just keep pulling it and blowing it. See, it's coming out the top. All right, I'm gonna blow it. I'm gonna keep doing that. Keep trying to move it through. There's some water in there, and this will also help it to loosen up any gook or carbon deposits or whatever, and then it'll burn out later, but we got to get more of this out. So I'm going to work on that, and then I'm going to put the carb back on. Now, I suppose if you wanted to, you could take this off, maybe lubricate that a little bit, take a peek in there. Maybe we'll do that and after I get a little bit further. All right, so I blew it out, mounted the carburetor. I can't get this off. I'm not going to try. Can I get it off? Yes, but no. All right. Everything's nice and clean. So this was leaking. And I like this setup because it's nice, right? It's easy to deal with. It was leaking a lot, and what they had in there was this line and like one of these thinner lines. And so if I put the two, obviously, you know, throw that out. If I put two of the standard, I forget what size that is, but it's like your standard hose. It's sliding all over the place. It's going to leak, and it's these tanks. They actually, you know, when you prime, they build a little bit of pressure. It helps the fuel flow. So you don't want that. So with the one large one and the one smaller one, right, it seems like it fits. So what we're going to do is let's just pop this in. Let's see if we can get in, because it should get a little tighter once we put it in. Now, I think they had a filter on this. You don't need it. This is your return, primer return. So let's see if we can get that in. Yes, it goes in nice. All right, so the back is going to be this one here, right? Straight nipple. That's going to be our supply. And I think what I'll do is, let's just see, is it laying nice? I want to make sure. All right, we're laying nice. I'm going to peek in there. I can't see anything. All right, let's put a little turn on it. Just like a little bit of a pigtail, so like a service loop. And if you're having a hard time getting them on, a heat gun works good. Don't use a lighter, because if there's any fuel on anything, you put a little bit of 2-stroke on the hose, and that'll make it a little slippery. So I'm going to put these on, and yeah, that fits nice. Now, this one might be more difficult. They're snug, and if we have to trim it, we're just going to push it in. We'll try to make them basically the same. And I know you may not be able to see everything I'm doing, but you're getting the idea. All right, so this is going on. So this feels like it's the right size. So yeah, even the nipples were sized accordingly. So you see how that fits? All right, I'm going to go put a little 2-stroke in here, and then go clean up a plug, and then we're going to run it and test it. Now, I reconnected the electrical connectors. They were very loose. They were pulling out. They were actually out. So I just, a little slight crush or crimp with my pliers. And this I didn't adjust yet. I'm going to adjust this because the ground is there, so we have to adjust the cable. See, it's actually a little, needs to come out a bit. We'll take the play out of it. So we're going to turn it until just before you see movement on the throttle. You want a little bit of play, so there's not quite enough play yet, and then turn the nut in. All right, and then turn the cable out a little bit more. So I don't want any play, still a little bit of play. I just want just a scotch of play. And we're going to tighten that nut up. Yeah, that's perfect. Just a scotch of play, because we want to be able to adjust that. So I'm going to tighten that nut up, do the plug, put some fuel in it, make sure the cap is clean, because you can reintroduce gack. Also, some of these caps on some things, just as a rule, all caps, blow them out, wash them out, whatever. There could be spiders living underneath. Most caps are vented. This one has a little valve on it, but most caps are vented. So if it's a vented cap and it's plugged with a spider nest or something in dirt, yeah, the machine will run, and then it'll stop, and you'll be like, what's wrong with it? Well, it's because you got a bad cap. So I'll be back in a bit. Nice and clean. 25 thousandths. and a little bit of no seas on there. All right, so let me get this in. We're going to get in some fuel. I'll get this tightened up. I'm going to leave the cover off for now, and let's see what happens. The primer's good, so let's see. So this is this off switch over here. It feels like a momentary, and choke is up. Right? No, choke is down. So choke is down. There's no lock for throttle. You just kind of pull the throttle, and that is its lock. Let's prime it a few times and see if the primer pulls fuel, which it looks like it is. Not a lot of fuel, and yes, it pulled fuel, no problem. Okay, and now here we go. Let's give it a pull and see how it runs. All right, if it runs at all, it should run. All right, just gotta grab it. Yeah, it's pulling water, so now let's turn the choke off. Another little prime. Oh boy, see what I mean? They're hard to deal with. Hold on. Uh-oh, might have too much water in it. All right, we gotta stop. We gotta pull the plug out. Might have pulled water up. Yeah, that feels like a hydro lock. So let's just pull the plug. Yeah, there's water in there. See? I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, the exhaust valve's open. Good. All right. Now let's pull it a few times. There we go. All right, let's try again. That's the one caveat. Now, a lot of times I take the crank, I open the crankcase up and get it out that way, or I pull the muffler off. We may have to pull the muffler off. That is a thing on a lot of these machines. You got to clean in there. But let's see. It certainly wanted to run. No, I don't feel it. Uh-oh. That's not good. So we have a lot of compression. So we may want to pull the muffler off. Let me take a look at that and see. Let me see if I can get that muffler off. We'll be back in a minute. All right, let's see if we can pull it. I did pull the muffler off, but I didn't show you because the one bolt down here is stuck, and it's just a mounting flange bolt, like an extra support bolt. Couldn't get it out, but I did get the bolt that holds it, the bolts that hold it into the block. I peeled it out of the way. I was blowing in there. I was putting more juice in. I was pulling it. I was blowing it. You know, this is what you're going to have to do if you wash it the way this thing needed to be washed. That's going to happen. So let's just go slow. Yeah, it's still. It wants to start. I may want to take it outside and put it down on the ground. I think I'm going to go do that, and I'll report back to you because it's going to want to start, but it's really going to fight me a little bit, and it's going to smoke. So I want to get it out of here. Choke. Shutoff works too. All right, we're gonna leave it out there, let it dry a little bit, let it cool, and we'll bring it in after lunch, and we'll put the rest of it on. Get it? Arch's Garage.
Eventually.
Okay, everyone, we're done with the service. I just took it back outside and started it up and warmed it up, and it runs good. I would recommend that he bring it back in a year or two, and maybe if it's not so dirty, and let me put a new he wants it right away, so I would put a new filter in. I washed this one and the pre-filter. You should have seen all the junk that came out. I blew this with compressed air. I'd have to order this, so I would say come back in a year or maybe two. We'll do the diaphragm, we'll do the filter, we'll give it a quick cleaning, and keep it maintenance, because it's not in great shape, right? It's pretty beat up, and it's been tossed around. I think something like this, I'm going to give him a good charge. I mean, it's a nice machine in terms of it. It's a RedMax, so, but yeah, I mean, he's going to have another machine running again. It's a successful repair and service. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I think the guy will get it back, and he'll be relatively happy, and I'm going to move on to the next project. I'll see you guys later. Arch's Garage.